everybody, this is Building Inspector aka Ocarina aka Oki, and I am on the Skyfire server touring Frostfell neighborhood 2021 house. It is owned by Devilkiss, Devilkiss. It is a city of Mist Estate on the Freeport side, and this is lot 3. Yes, 3. Claimed and condemned. Okay, I like Miss Cloudrat framing the entry area. It's definitely fenced off. Eviction notice by management. Resident, shh. We are condemning your building as well as you for the following reasons. 1. Your trash has gotten out of control and we can tell that the neighborhood rats are all coming from your house. Nice. I hope I see a little rat somewhere. Well, you do have a cloud rat. Alright. Number 2. Your innocent snow fort shenanigans have given Mrs. Mabel a concussion. I do not feel like this needs explanation. 3. The AstroTurf is awful. Dear God. We plan to destroy it as soon as we destroy your innocent snow fort. 4. Much better people than you are homeless. Honestly, it just seems fair. Mary Frostfell, the man. Alright. So, fortunately, let me walk right through. And as a shh says, you can't evict Frostfell. My army of cloud rats will subdue you with high spirit hugs. And I see that you have a bow for the soldiers. Maybe. I mean, yellow bows on the trees, but yeah. Anyway. Oh, look at all the Miss Cloud Rats everywhere. And I see it. There's a flappy note. Alright. Aw, look at the snowman. He's got a sad face and he's got ready to stab me. Oh, and there's another rat. Okay. And oh, there's other bows. Maybe it wasn't for the soldiers. I don't know. I'll just assume yes. That's the next lot over. I'm like, what is that contraption? It's not this one. Not this one. Oh, look at the rats inside. Nice. One's upside down, one's right side up. So I will say it again. People are judged on what you can see from outside of the building, but because I'm videoing stuff, I'm gonna go in because I see a real door. I can't tell if it's a real door, like there's still an opening or whatever, but anyway, I will take a peek in a minute. I love all the cloud arts everywhere. And I love that you made the little sky that way and it's moving and everything. She's so cute, isn't she? So cute. Okay, so I can go in. Instead of me trying to look through the windows, I'm just going in, people. Oh, there's a big window in the back. I can see everything. Look at all the rats on the wall. That's hilarious. I love it. That is just awesome. Aren't these, yeah, these are Heroes Festival. And they're expensive. And look at how many you have. You must have spent forever. And then a nice big chandelier. And oh, and then music. With a chair. Okay. And carpet. I forgot to say. And a carpet. Or rug. Very nice. I love it. You're very funny. I think you should get a prize for funniest. A Gobjamin's Goblin Frostfell Rough Draft by Okay, so there was a Goblin something Gobjamin on a different server. Was it Antonia Vale? I forget now. It's been a few days. I've been doing videos. I did on the 17th. That was Halls of Fate. And then someone like I forget what days. I've done it over several days, so I've lost track. Okay. Oh no, not this book again. Really? Uh, it's gonna take me a while. This is a long one, guys. It is. All right, let me take a sip of water. My husband heard me reading this, and then the rest of the night I was like, 1 plus, 1 plus. He's just looking at me like, please stop. Gorgothy. I forgot how I was pronouncing it before. Reached for his Frostfell hat and Santa beard, taking another look in the mirror. Hard lines cracked his tired goblin face. It seemed like his long nose drooped more every day. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus a lot more years at the Snowman Farm will do that to you. Little Gobjamin was too old for the Santa Glug gimmick, but Gorgothy loved this part. Thinking of his son's excitement, he saw a smile in the mirror and felt 1 plus 1. Wait, 1 minus 1 minus 1 years younger. He proudly set the silly human hat on his proud goblin head, then attached the fluffy white human beard to his long, pronounced chin. The trash pile this year was a sight that would melt Glug himself. He could hear his wife Haggy snarling at a bird outside. Goblin rabies had taken her mind. 1 plus 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 1 years ago. But it had felt like 1 plus 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 1 1 plus 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 1 1 plus 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 1 years. It had taken a toll on the small goblin family. Blah, blah, blah. Gorgothy opened the door, careful to get dirt all over the knob, and left the wagon into the snowman field. Then he began beckoning his own name loudly. Gorgothy, Gorgothy, it's Santa Glug. Where are you, old friend? Gobjamin rounded past the snowy pines to the yard, yapping incoherently. Haggy ran to intercept Gobjamin, with the dead bird snarling loudly and dropping it at his feet. Santa Glug, watch out for my mom. She will try to eat you. Gorgothy laughed and beckoned them over, hoping the snowman. Oh, hopping the snowman farm fence to meet them. You must be Gobjamin. Gorgothy told me so much about you. You must be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 by now. If he's not careful, you'll cannibalize him before your rites of goblinhood. They both laughed. Haggy stopped snarling at the dead bird behind them, alerted by the laughter. She caught a familiar gaze in Gorgothy's eyes and bounded swiftly at him. Gobjamin saw this and raised his hand in the air, which contained a big shiny, then threw it behind the trash pile. She ran to it and began to lick it. The other 2 goblins ran and began to fight her for the shiny. Gorgothy tried his hardest, grabbed it out of Haggy's hand, only for it to be yonked into his son's. Good one, Gobjamin. Why, I thought I had that one. Haggy, down, down, Haggy. Haggy took some skin off Gorgothy's forearm and settled near the fire, nibbling on it. Gorg and Gob watched her claim her piece in peace. Gobjamin seemed to play the part okay, but this would probably be the last year Glugothy did this. Santa Glug, Do you think my dad will ever quit the snowman farm? Higgy is homeschooling me, and it's great. I love her, but I spend most of my days just chasing birds and stealing dirt from the neighbors. Dorothy put another log on the fire and warmed his hands on it. Yes, you're too smart for bird chasing these days. He ought to be home for you, show you how to be a real goblin. You know, he used to be a janitor at Runny Eye back in the day. He was quite good at it too. I bet my dad's the cleanest, dirtiest goblin ever. What do you think of our trash pile, Santa Glug? At the words the three of them took in every piece of shiny and every scrap of garbage in the massive pile of trash. Gorgothy let a tear fall. It's the most impressive trash pile I've ever seen, and I've been to Kinos. Heggie found that one amusing and coughed up a chunk of Gorgothy's arm. Say, Gob Jammin'. Gorgothy turned his hands above the fire and stared deeply into the trash. Did I ever tell you about the first trash pile? Gobjabin tried thinking and gave up immediately. If so, I can't remember. I bet it was magnificent. Some might say it was many 1 years ago, before me and before the guy before me. I forget his name. Gorgothy? No, that's me. I mean Santa Glug. Anyways. This once upon a time, right? The Frostfell, after the first Frostfell, when I must have been 1+, no, I digress. A young goblin girl by the name of Goblin, why can't I say it tonight? I said it the other night. Gobblefina was at the trailer park Frostfell party with her friends. Each of them had brought a present to give Santa Glug, so that I could give it back to them. I couldn't afford presents for the whole world, right? What do I look like? A goat milker? Well, I'm not. When Gobblefina received her own present back, she was completely surprised because she was a goblin, and it was in our nature to be surprised by things we already know. The look of amazement in her face alarmed her friends. They said she wasn't doing it right. They all became scientists or something worthless, by the way. So they tried to teach her to be the right kind of surprised. She didn't understand because the feeling of surprise came naturally. So that should be enough. But kids, well, you know how kids are. Later that night, she was at home mudding all the clean off her. She took another look at her gift, some really awesome toy, and tried to be the right kind of amazed, frustrated with herself, being naturally amazed. That she then chucked it out the window, then chased it, of course, because it was shiny, and she thought she hadn't seen it before. The neighbors came out. The neighbors came out to look. What you got there? They yelled, and they came to see that it was some of the same crap they had, which was amazing, of course. Before anyone knew it, everyone was throwing their gifts outside in a big pile, drinking and singing the Pick-Claw Jig. That's why that was in there. I forgot about this part. Nobody played with their toys, not even the adults. Not a single gobblecide was committed that night, which would have been fun, but oh well. Mirth filled the air as the trash pile got bigger and bigger. Gobblefina's friends eventually found her and said, "We understand why you don't do the amazing right." They were all talking at once. They said, "It's because we were faking it and we were jealous, but this is no way to play with toys." Then she killed all of them, triple gobble aside. That very night. Triple means 1+1+1, by the way. Don't ask me how I know that. Something was learned. A lesson, I think. But I forget. Ah, who cares? I think we just kept doing it because it's fun. Wow, Gobjammin enthusiastically expressed amazement. It's like the trash doesn't even matter. What a bunch of hooey just for goblins to express their amazement at all the shinies, which are amazing already. Thanks for the story, Santa Glug. Gorgothy pat Gobjamin on the back and sat next to Haggy, who was now fast asleep from sheer boredom. Ah, boy, speaking of hooey, Gorgothy removed his fake beard and tossed it into the trash pile. You know what? I think it's time humans learned how to make their own snowmans. The end. Matsu. Alright. And then I'll come over here and look at this. Okay, it's just like this little fort with tongas in it and cloud rats, and I'll turn this on. Let it snow. There we go. Alright, so very nice condemned place, and with that I will see you guys at the next lot. Bye everybody.